Let's see if 2020 is real or a dream. Okay, it's real. Hello everyone, how are you? You can't answer because you're not there. Today, this video is sponsored by PolarPro because we'll be checking out some pretty sweet filters that they've got. Whoa. And they're pretty durable too. These are actually their brand new filters. We've got the brand new Peter McKinnon Variable ND Filter Edition 2 and their brand new mist filters, which is essentially an ND filter and a mist filter packaged into one. We're gonna check them all out, see the differences between each filter, and then hopefully by the end of the video, it'll help you decide which variable ND filter to get. Variable ND filter. There you go. All right, so first things first, what is a variable ND, variable ND filter? What is it? A variable ND filter cuts down on your exposure without having to make adjustments on your camera. Like you don't have to increase the shutter speed, you don't have to increase your f-stop, your ISO. If you don't want to change your camera settings at all, like if you want to shoot at a low aperture, but you're filming outside and it's super bright, then simply slap on a variable ND filter, twist the filter, and then you can reduce the exposure. A lot of people say that variable ND filters are like sunglasses for your lenses, but that's kind of stupid. But also kind of true. You have two different versions of the variable ND filters. You have a 2 to 5 stop version and a 6 to 9 stop version. So with the 2 to 5 stop version, you can cut down on the exposure from 2 to 5 stops, where with the 6 to 9 stop version, you can cut down exposure from 6 to 9 stops. Self-explanatory. Now, there are some differences between the new variable ND filter and the original variable ND filter. With the original filter, you can smoothly transition from one stop to the next. Where with the new filter, if you want to transition from 2 stops to 3 stops to 4, there is a click. I don't know if you can hear it. I'll bring it closer to the mic. Hear that? Now, some people may like that feature and some people may not, but I personally like it because I like knowing that I'm cutting down my exposure by 2 stops or 3 stops and so on and so forth. The build quality of these new filters are really awesome. It even has a shiny brass finish to it, where the original variable ND filter had more of a matte brass finish to it. Not that that matters at all, just thought I'd let you know. But I just like the tactical feel of these brand new filters. Like it just feels really good. A mist filter, on the other hand, has a different effect. It softens up the details in your shot and also provides this glow effect, which looks really cool. Oftentimes it can be called the bloom effect, and just really adds a really cool stylistic flair to your video. So it's pretty awesome. There's a lot of amazing mist filters out in the market. However, if you plan on shooting a shot and it's overexposed and you want to shoot at a specific aperture, you might end up having to stack filters on top of your lens to control that exposure. Like you might slap on an ND filter and then the mist filter on top of that. And when you add multiple filters on top of your lens, it might degrade the overall image quality depending on the filters. But the fact that PolarPro made a mist filter that's also a variable ND filter all into one, that's a great solution to have to prevent you from having to stack multiple filters. And so good job, PolarPro. And just like their signature 2 variable ND filters, there is a 2 to 5 stop version and a 6 to 9 stop version. All right, let's go and take a close-up look at these filters, shall we? The packaging on all these filters is so good. Like, it kind of reminds you of like those old school film reels. The original variable ND filter came with this hard case that looked cool, but honestly, I never used it because it just was so bulky. I just ended up putting that filter in a filter wallet, but I really like their brand new packaging. There's a hard metallic back cap, very rugged, as well as a rugged front cap. And then to put the filters onto your lens, you just take the back cap first, just unscrew it, attach the filter on the lens, and then just remove the front cap. Let me try that right now. All right, filter's on and boom. And so now I've reduced the exposure. I'm gonna adjust it. Oh, I'm bringing it down even more. Oh, you know what'll be fun? Let's go ahead and increase the ISO to 12,800 because, you know, A7S III. All right, ISO 12,800. I have the Signature 2 variable ND filter, the 2 to 5 stop version. And let's go ahead and bring down the exposure. Very cool. So there it is. Boom. Could probably increase the exposure just a bit. There you go. Ooh, this is probably a good time to do a side-by-side comparison without the filter and with the filter. Now that we did that, we have to do the mist filter. Where are you? Oh, here we go. There's the mist edition filter, the 2 to 5 stop version. Take the back cap, slap it on the lens, and take out the cap. All right, I'm obviously way underexposed, so let's bring it up to 12,800, shall we? There we go. All right, there you go. Mist filter is on. And now we should probably do a side-by-side comparison of all 3 shots. What I love about the PolarPro Mist Edition filters is that it adds a subtle glow to it. Like, there are some mist filters that just over-exaggerate on that bloom effect, but I much prefer subtleties, and I really love how subtle that bloom effect is with these mist filters. It's definitely not so obvious, especially in a shot like this, so most people probably wouldn't notice, but if you do a close-up shot at something bright or shiny or at a light bulb or something like that, then it's a little more obvious to see that bloom effect. Now, after playing with all these filters for the past couple of weeks, I've been using the 2 to 5 stop versions more than the 6 to 9 stop versions, both for the variable ND filter and the mist filter. I just find that cutting down 2 to 5 stops is plenty for me, and it was at very rare occasions where I had to use the 6 to 9 stop version. I mean, really the only times you would use a 6 to 9 stop variable ND filter is when you're shooting out in high noon, why am I saying high noon, Texas? You're shooting out in the middle of the day, you're in the desert, it's super, super bright. Yeah, you would totally use the 6 to 9 stop version, but I don't like filming at those times. I oftentimes film in the morning or at golden hour or at blue hour because the lighting is softer, and so I just don't have a need to use the 6 to 9 stop version. But that's why I love how PolarPro made 2 different versions of their variable ND filters. If you're not sure which version to get, I would start with the 2 to 5 stop version and see how you do. And if you feel like you need to cut down in exposure a lot more, then get the 6 to 9 stop version. But everyone at least should start with the 2 to 5 stop version. Now, as far as which filter to get, the normal variable ND filter or the Mist Edition variable ND filter, that's gonna be all up to you. Like, I love both filters, they are absolutely fantastic, but I've been using the mist filter a lot more because I like how it softens the details and I love that subtle bloom effect that it produces. But if you're totally unsure, then I would just start with the standard variable ND filter, the 2 to 5 stop version. And if you already have a variable ND filter, then why not try the Mist Edition filter? It's really cool. I feel I should juggle these things. I can't juggle. Huge thanks to PolarPro for sponsoring this video, and if you want to check out any one of these filters, then links will be down in the description below. But I'm out of here. Gotta film 2 more videos today. Can you believe it? I'm trying to like batch film these days just because time is money, man. Time is money. But thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell buttons down below, and I will see you in the next one.